Okay, got a few requests on what goes into making these videos, like the gear involved and the process. So I thought I'd kind of quickly run over what I'm doing. Now, first of all, there are two extremely unsung heroes involved in the production of these videos. Number one being Starbucks iced coffee. Without that, none of this would be possible. And number two being Hans de Foucault Premium Men's Hairstyling Gel. Link available in the description. But after that, there's definitely not a lot of pre-production that goes into these. The nice thing about teaching a lot is I kind of like engage with a lot of students and I'll see how they learn things, and kind of actually giving one-on-one lessons helps me develop content that I think would be helpful to all you guys. So what I do is I generally usually use two cameras, and the main camera that is on this shot is a Nikon D600, and I just have a couple of different lenses that I switch back and forth depending on the composition of the shot, the specifics of which I will put in the description. I'll put all the gear in the description too. And basically the Nikon D600 is what I usually shoot on. And for like the riff deconstructions or anything where I'm kind of like showing like my hand on the fretboard, I will use a second camera setup. Panasonic HDCT 9000, I think is what it's called. And basically that's just kind of like a close shot on usually my fretting hand. Now the audio is a shotgun microphone, an Audix M1255B shotgun mic. And that mic is absolutely awesome. Like, I put 100% of my endorsement behind that microphone. It is so awesome. I have dropped that microphone. I have snapped the capsule off in half, hitting it up against things, and it's like just such a workhorse. And I think it sounds pretty good. Generally, the distance between me and microphone is as shown. And I run that into the stock preamp of my Apogee Ensemble interface. So generally in a regular video, I have 2 video files to edit and 1 audio file. Now I'll record the audio into Logic Pro 10, Pro X or whatever. And really there's not a lot of processing going on it. Minimum of what I'll do EQ wise is just kind of filter anything below 60 hertz, because that'll get like, you know, like an air conditioner noise or some other kind of like rumbling if it's like an amp, if I'm doing an electric thing or something similar to that. And the only other plugin I generally have is a limiter to kind of get the volume up. If I'm doing like an electric guitar thing, it's kind of hard as a one-man production crew to always set the sound levels right between like an electric guitar amp and what I'm trying to like communicate vocally. So in that case, I might put like a compressor out or something to kind of like level the sound out so it's not overpowering guitar and then vocal back and forth, right? So once I have that, oh, and by the way, when I start shooting, I just do like the hand clap thing to sync everything. So you'll see like that one audio spike that you can sync the audio of the Logic file, the microphone, and then both cameras actually have their own audio that comes with it, as most cameras do, that you can kind of like sync that spike up in all 3 ways, and that way all 3 files are synchronized so you can edit them, which I do in Final Cut Pro, right? Now, I think at this point, the video from my iPhone is actually at least as good as the Panasonic, if not better. But I just kind of have the system down and I keep it rolling, and I use my phone in a lot of the videos to kind of reference sometimes too. So lighting is definitely, I think, probably like the biggest thing that will make like a YouTube production kind of go from kind of amateur to very professional looking. So I have these 2 lights that I used, and they're cheap enough off of Amazon. The thing is, they're just kind of big, but they do throw out a lot of light. And depending on if I'm shooting in the day or night, in Florida too, there's like a ton of natural light that kind of comes into. So definitely, I think if you want to try something like this, I am all for it, because, I mean, I've had a great time just kind of like sharing stuff that I know, and aside from just sharing things with people on the internet, making videos is a great way to like reference things yourself. Like, I've taught songs that I otherwise would have forgotten how to play myself, so I can actually reference my own videos to go back and see how I was doing something. And it's also just cool because, you know, making videos and putting them online is kind of like almost like a snapshot or like a timeline of how you get better as, you know, time goes on. Like, I know that my videos now, I feel, are like a lot better than they were in the early days, and it's just kind of cool to kind of like see how you're improving, how your skills are improving, whether it's music or anything. And hopefully, you know, I think the coolest thing is some of you guys have commented saying that like these videos and other videos like this have inspired you to kind of like pursue your own passions as far as like posting guitar stuff or really anything. And that's why I really think that YouTube is kind of like the greatest invention in mankind, because it really is like a universal library to kind of like share all sorts of stuff and, you know, comedically troll each other every now and then. So yeah, basically that's kind of it. Any questions, always leave them in the comments and I'm happy to get back to you. But as far as that, you know, once you have a video file, I just exported it 1080. None of this is like 4K or 5K or anything like that yet, anyways. I just upload it to YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm doing the tag process right or whatever, but you know, I'm just doing the best I can. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about just kind of like the production and what goes into it. And again, please hit me up if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.